When I was asked to speak at TEDx, I was flabbergasted. Oh, wow. Doubt and hesitation started to take over, and I started to wonder, would I be capable? Now, these are qualities, doubt and hesitation, that are usually attributed to women. And unfortunately, many of us, we seem to underestimate our real capacities. I knew I could do it. And so, with courage and positive energy, enthusiasm started to come over, and I started to feel comfortable. A girlfriend said to me, "What are you going to wear?" And I said, "Pink shoes." You can't wear pink shoes to a TEDx talk. There's red carpet. Well, I said, I can. Because I wanted to, because that's what I felt I wanted to wear, was pink shoes. And so this speech today is about how I can do things and how certain key points have helped me to be able to say, I can do it, and to dare. Because we're on a journey, and I'm on my journey, and everyone is on their own. And we'll see that there are different things that help us move in this journey. So I have 3 key points that I want to talk to you today. The first one is, oh, this was just a little bit of humor, is to remember that girls, we can do anything the boys do, and we can do it with heels as well. So, I am a superwoman, a Wonder Woman. I'm an entrepreneur. I have several companies. But I'm first of all a mother. I have 3 children, adolescents. I'm a stepmother. I have 3 daughters with their partners, and I even have a step-grandchild. There will be one very shortly. So I know what it's like to juggle life, family life, and I have a husband that I've been with now for 25 years. On the other side, business. I've been working, and I know what it's like, and it's very difficult. We all know it's very difficult to juggle professional life and family life. But we can do it, because it's a journey, and each one takes their journey. So there are 3 key points that I wanted to talk today. The first one is, dare to make a choice. It's very important to make choices, because choices start the action. It's the beginning of something. It's changing your attitude to a situation, to a person, to movement. It's engaging in something. It's perhaps looking at fear or something that's fearful and saying, I can do it. So it's very important to make choices because they keep you moving. And it's not always easy. There are difficult choices between motherhood and working. Do I do both? But it's very important to be able to always make a choice because that's what keeps you moving on your journey. When I didn't get the marketing job that I wanted after 6 years traveling the world for my company, which was a fabulous job, I have great souvenirs, but I wanted to do marketing. And my manager, he didn't think that I was perhaps the best person for the job, or, and this was more like the case, he didn't know how he was going to handle finding someone else to do the job that I was doing so well. So I was really angry. They gave it to another person and not me, and I thought, I've been working so hard, and they're not going to give this to me. So I made a decision. And that decision was, first of all, find somebody to do my job. Secondly, I decided to leave my job, and I went to do an MBA. So I did this wonderful MBA in a top business school, and then I got that marketing job that I so much desired. I was so happy. I'd made some choices, and I'd moved on in my career. It took me 2-3 months. I suddenly realized that really wasn't the job that I wanted. Oh dear. Was it a bad choice? No. It got me moving. So I made another choice. I decided to have a baby, which is not what somebody expected after an MBA. And so, with my baby and my pregnancy, I actually decided to leave the company that I dreamed of joining and start the entrepreneurial spirit with my husband on a company. And that was great. I managed to balance life and work and babies, and I actually have a picture like that of me with my son. I had 3 children in 4 years, And we grew the company from 21 employees to 150. So it can be done. It's not easy, and there's lots of things we can talk about, but that's not my speech. But it can be done, and I did it. So the first point is make choices. Choices engage you on your journey. The second thing is a learning process. Once I joined the company, we brought it up. We actually sold the company. That was good. I then went and bought it back again 3 years later, which was a very bad choice. And I learned a lot of things from it. And so it's very important to remember that every choice you make, there is a learning curve, there's a learning process, and it teaches you something. So take patience, because it's not always easy. Yes, you do make mistakes, but it's not the end of the world. You'll learn, and it allows you to have creative value of what you've learned to apply to new situations, to be bettering yourself, to allow yourself to be able to handle better adverse situations because you've learned something from past situations. Now, a very simple example could be, well, I'll explain to you. When I drive to work, there's this road on the right. And I've been driving past it now for 6 months, and I think, where is it going to take me? And so I decided to take time, because it's important to take time when you're going to learn something. And I decided to take that road to find out where it's going to take me. It could be that that road is a dead end. I take the road, suddenly find myself blocked, there's a building, doesn't take me anywhere. I've learned that that road was not a good path to choose. However, the road that I discovered on the right made me take a wonderful road where I'd have a beautiful view of the Lac Léman, and I avoided 3 traffic lights. So I've got a better way to get to the office. And that was because I dared to take that road that I didn't know where it took me. And yes, we do have Google Maps, but it's always interesting to find out where it takes you, and I enjoy that. So the learning process is very important. Imagine yourself studying law, and after 2 years you go and do this stage, a work placement in an office, and you find yourself with all these lawyers, and you think, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I actually want to be a singer, or I want to do something else. It's not the end of the world. You know, you can decide to change your career. Even if you've studied 2 years on one direction, you can change it to another. It's not a problem. So the learning process is very important to remember. The third point, the third key point, is to give yourself time to find the right direction. It's not always easy. We're running around, we're rushing, there's a lot of stress, there's pressure in the office, they ask you to do things, there's deadlines, and sometimes you don't realize where you really want to go. And so, I think it's important to be able to stop, listen, close your eyes, think, le penseur. Give yourself time to think of which direction you really want to go. My ball. I had to remind myself. Here's the little ball. I am actually on a journey, which I said earlier on. I don't know where I'm going. I've gone through ups and downs in my career. I've now come to Geneva. I'm starting a new business. But I don't know where I'm going. And what I want to think about is that, for example, when I throw this ball in the air, which the ceiling's very high, I didn't realize we're going to be so high, it goes up. And it stops. So there's a journey, there's a movement, there's an action. It comes to a stop, and then it starts again, another action, in another direction. We're not talking of Newton falling back down. We're talking of the fact that there's a moment of pause. I am at the moment flying high up there. Don't know where I'm going, but God, it's really nice to be up here. And definitely tonight, I can see you all very well. So the flying high, giving yourself that pause, to see where you want to go, in what direction. Because we can imagine ourselves sometimes totally covered by our own problems. And we're so stuck that we can't breathe, that we can't see. There's even people that suffer from health problems. Like my daughter, when we were sitting up at the Pantheon in August, it was so hot, and all she could do was moan. What I want you to think is that while we were sitting there, I said breathe, let's look around, and by looking around, suddenly I saw a little horse peeking out above a building. I saw a temple being held up by statues. Oh, look at these statues, they're ladies, very strong ladies. And in fact, it got me thinking that if you stop and pause and stop looking at just yourself, oh my God, I can't do this, the problem, how am I going to solve it? And you start breathing and you start looking around, there are solutions. They're not always easy solutions, but if you start engaging action, you'll be able to find different solutions. So when I saw this temple, I saw this lady standing tall, and I thought, that's me. I'm a strong lady. I can hold up the temple. I hold up the temple of my family, with my children. I hold up the temple at work, in the office. I hold up the temple with my husband and his entrepreneurship. And I hold up myself. Because finally, what's very important is to be strong yourself. And that's what allows you to say, I can do it. At the moment, as I said, I'm not sure where I'm going, this ball flying high. I'll put it back down. I've engaged at the moment on starting looking for women who are diverse with different experiences, because I honestly believe that we can be on a board and not necessarily through that typical path, because as I said, each one has her own journey. And so women on board, they can be different women. They can be women that have had different experiences, that have bought companies, sold companies, have been family engineers with all their children. They have experiences that can be shared in a company and can help directors, perhaps smaller companies, I'm not talking of the large ones, but to be able to develop new strategies, to transfer a company from an older person to the future generation. So I'm working at the moment on Women on Board. That's one of my projects. And to conclude, I want to say that we're all on a journey. And this journey never ends. It's not because you want to be a mother that finally you've got the baby that it's finished. We know that we've got all of motherhood and many years in front of us. And each explorer who goes around the world, who goes to visit Everest or goes to sail around the world, he comes back thinking, that was brilliant, but the next time I'm going to do it with no oxygen, or I'm going to do it with a smaller boat. And so I just want to remind you that it is a never-ending journey, but we're allowed to have fun, we're allowed to enjoy ourselves, and we have to know that it's our own journey. So what are you going to choose for your journey? Thank you.